Hello, and welcome back to This Is My Voice. I'm your host, Laura Tia. It has been a while since I last sat behind this microphone, 2 months, give or take, which is long enough for the dust to settle and for the imaginary committee in my head to begin asking whether I owe everyone an explanation. I thought about opening this episode with a detailed account of where I have been, what happened, and why the podcast went on yet another hiatus. Then I stopped myself when a more interesting question reared its head. Why do we feel compelled to explain every absence? There is a strange expectation attached to being visible. Once people become accustomed to hearing from you, any interruption begins to feel like a statement. Silence gets interpreted. A missed post becomes a concern. A delayed episode becomes evidence that something has gone wrong. But that's not always the case. Some of the time, people just want a break. And most of the time, life has simply required their attention elsewhere because such is life. The internet has trained us to narrate everything while it is happening. We announce our beginnings, document our struggles, over-explain our choices, and occasionally post a carefully composed photograph to prove that we are recovering beautifully. Privacy begins to look suspicious when everyone else is publishing a running commentary. I have never been comfortable with that level of access. I share my thoughts because I love writing and conversation. I enjoy examining the profound and astute parts of life and giving language to experiences people often struggle to articulate. That does not mean every experience I have belongs in public. Some parts of our lives deserve privacy, and I am not one to fawn over making those aspects of my life a running spectacle for other people's consumption. During the past 2 months, I stepped away from the podcast, the blog, and several creative plans I had carefully arranged. My schedule did not survive reality, which is becoming something of a recurring theme around here. I could have forced myself to publish anyway, but I have learned that content created from obligation usually ends up trite and such. The unsurprising part was that the world continued, as it always does. The podcast did not burst into flames. The blog remained where I left it. My unfinished drafts maintained remarkable patience. Apparently, the universe can function without receiving my opinion every second Friday. Humbling, really. That realization made returning easier, and I've learned to enjoy and appreciate those silent times and have a remarkable regard for silent things. I do not need to compensate for the silence by producing twice as much, nor do I need to transform my absence into a dramatic comeback story. I can simply return, sit down, and begin again from where I am. We often treat consistency as a moral virtue. People who show up without fail are disciplined, committed, and serious, while people who disappear are unreliable, distracted, or losing momentum. Life is rarely that painstakingly simple. Consistency can be admirable, yes, but it is not always possible, and it is certainly not proof that someone is well. There are periods when maintaining a routine helps us remain grounded. There are other periods when the routine becomes another demand, clawing at the little energy we have left. Wisdom may have less to do with showing up at all costs, and more to do with recognizing the difference. The pressure to explain can make returning harder than the absence itself. Once enough time has passed, you begin to believe the explanation must be profound enough to justify the silence. You rehearse what you will say. You consider how much to reveal. You worry that saying too little will appear evasive and saying too much will leave you exposed. Eventually, the threshold for returning becomes so high that you remain away longer. Perhaps returning does not need to carry that much ceremony. You can come back without turning your private life into evidence, and you can acknowledge that life happened without submitting the complete file for public review. That distinction matters to me. Honesty means I will not pretend the past 2 months were simply a cheerful little sabbatical. Privacy means I am allowed to leave the details where they belong. Both things can be true at once. So this episode is less an explanation and more a reopening of the door. I am still interested in the questions we ask here. I still want to examine culture, relationships, voice, and the many absurd ways human beings complicate being alive. I still intend to publish, record, and create. I am simply returning without promising that life will never interrupt the schedule again, because life has already made its position on that matter abundantly clear. This is where I'll leave you today. Where have you made returning more difficult because you believed you owed everyone an explanation? What parts of your life have you mistaken for public information simply because someone asked? You are allowed to return quietly. You are allowed to keep parts of yourself beyond public reach. Your voice can be honest without telling every story. Until next time, take care of your voice and remember that you decide how much of it the world gets to hear.